Yeah, dude, 2x2, 2x2 overboard.
Jesus.
2x2 colon overboard exclamation point. Yeah, it was actually kind of a pain in the ass to start reviewing this. I go up to the garage door to let Jerrid in. This happens not very often, but sometimes it does. I go to hit the button and the door didn't work, so I called him. I was like, all right, hang there. I'm going to go get Laura's car. I'm going to drive up there. We'll trigger the door, and it did. It opened. You just follow me back downstairs, and I'll park, go back upstairs, give Laura the key, and just park on the other side of Laura. She'll be headed to work in about 20 minutes. We can't wait 20 minutes. We got to talk about this movie as soon as possible, which is why I'm immediately starting out with a tangent.
That sounds like a very complicated escort situation.
Yes, but this movie taught me to work together as a team. If we hadn't watched this movie, I wouldn't know what to do. Like, no, dude, we gotta wait. Maybe we could, like, take an axe and cut a hole in the garage door. Or just, you know what, just drive through it. They can replace it. Then we were like, oh, you were originally in a spot over there. And you were like, well, sometimes we see in the background people driving into that spot, so maybe we should go somewhere else. This is another very intense review. We might start sweating. Yes, it's 100 degrees in here. But it could be because it's a race against time in case someone actually does come and park in this space. So you didn't know, this movie is only like an 80-minute movie, and you didn't know until about 90 minutes ago that we were watching this.
Right, yeah.
Because I made a huge mistake last week when I thought Snyder Cut was coming out this week. I completely forgot that I bumped up the Justice League Snob episode to like a week earlier so that this Mondays I could do like a Leprechaun movie for St. Patrick's Day. I forgot that I scheduled it like that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, well, a couple weeks ago, I did that Justice League 1997 movie on the Snob. That must mean this Friday, the Zack Snyder movie's coming out. No, I made a mistake. And so you come over, I'm like, well, we're not watching Snyder Cut. Oh, what are we watching? 2x2 Overboard! A couple animals fall off the ark, and they go to an island where there's a volcano. You know, some people...
Damn it, Brad.
Some people actually did see Snyder Cut early, because apparently there was a glitch last week.
Oh, really?
On HBO Max, where some people went to watch Tom and Jerry, but it was accidentally the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Honest mistake. Both probably start with rapping pigeons. I hope to God that happens. So, nothing is really out this week. So we've got like this movie, some tween thing called like 100% Coco or some shit. We'll do a couple of Patreon reviews like Mask of the Phantasm and Dread. Oh, but I did a little bit of reading on this movie. Now, I knew from the title of this, I could tell it was like some animated Noah's Ark thing. And I knew of another movie from 2015 that was also an animated movie about Noah's Ark that sounded similar to this. And I never saw this movie, but I remember the title. The title was, Oops, Noah's Gone.
What?
Here's the funny thing, though. This is the sequel to that.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. The original title of this movie isn't 2x2 Overboard. The original title is like Oops 2, The Adventure Continues. And I looked it up when we were watching it, and yeah, it's like the same characters and everything.
Oh!
I have no idea if Noah is in that movie or not. He's not in this movie.
Right, yeah, no, he's not in this movie.
But this is a sequel, yeah, to the 2015 film, Oops, Noah's Gone. We're a bunch of jackasses and fell off of the damn ark. Oh, crap. But since this movie is about, like, which the other one was too, these, like, fake mythical animals, and I mean, there's the regular animals on there. You got the giraffes and the lions and the elephants and all that, but the main ones that we're following are like these fictitious animals.
Yeah.
And so I'm spending this whole thing like, does this mean they're gonna die? Because these animals don't exist today. Does something happen? Like, do they not make it back on the ark? Is this like Darren Aronofsky's Noah, where Russell Crowe kills some animal that doesn't exist, and that explains why they're not around today? But it children's movie.
God. Halfway through it, I felt like this was like a companion movie that you would give away or sell or use to promote toys that you're making. And you did look up and
there are toys of those like Nestrian creatures or whatever they're called. Yeah, there are a bunch of toys for those. I don't know if this is a from Luxembourg, I believe. I don't know how successful this is over there, or those toys, or the first movie. I guess successful enough.
I was going to say, now that you say that this was the sequel, it's like, okay, now this makes a little more sense. Like actually, even the writing that I had problems with, now it kind of makes more sense. People, fans of the first movie will go into this movie knowing some of the characters.
Yeah, because I saw the poster of the other one and it had the same characters on them. And also, us growing up in the 80s, we got a sixth sense when there's a cartoon made to sell toys.
Yeah,
we can spot these things fairly easily.
Yeah.
This kind of looked like that a little bit, but again, I don't know. Honestly, I didn't think this movie was very good.
No.
But I thought it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
definitely.
Even, okay, so the last sort of, okay, this movie's biblical in the loosest of terms.
Right.
But, the last biblical animated movie I watched was that Finding Jesus, that was the Finding Nemo ripoff. Mm-hmm. And dude, yeah, that was like local TV commercial animation and shit like that. That wasn't even a movie. That felt like a series of 10-minute shorts strung into like this 70-minute weird anthology thing that it did. This, honestly, I thought it was fairly well animated.
Yeah.
Not like the best that you'll see.
Yeah.
But if you were to see this in the theater, it would, it would look lower budget than, all right, like Raya that we saw last week or whatever Pixar movies out there.
Oh, definitely.
Of course. But it's leaps and bounds ahead of, like I said, that Finding Jesus movie, or even some of the bottom of the barrel animated movies that I've seen.
Sure.
This, honestly, I didn't think it looked that bad.
No.
If I saw this in the theater, I wouldn't think anything of it. And if I saw this as a direct-to-video movie, which we kind of did, it's like, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of it's even relatively creative.
Yeah.
When the volcano's going off, it looks cool. When there's a thunderstorm, it looks pretty cool. All the explosions, the bizarre shit they do with this underwater Nestrian utopia, where it's like, it looks like this prehistoric rave crossed with Fraggle Rock. Like, and like these underwater tunnels made of sticks. There was really creative stuff with a lot of the setting and how the animals looked in these weird surroundings. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of imagination put into that.
I can agree with that. Now, what I didn't like was a lot of the writing. I think I briefly mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
I just had a problem with the way we were introduced to these characters, how the story was told. That fucking hippo.
Oh, the hippo comes into the end is...
No, he does it 4 times throughout the movie.
Oh, does he?
The exact same thing.
He just sits on some shit.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, what's up, guys? What'd I miss?" Like, literally, that's all he does in this movie.
All right, it was great watching this movie because Jerrid was having none of this film. So, like, there would be these puns and shit in the film where, like, there's this talking clam, and a character would be like, "Well, that's a little clammy." Jerrid wouldn't even say anything. He'd just be sitting over there like... And then when you did say something, there's a part where they make 2 of the animals walk the plank on the ark, which defeats the whole purpose of having an ark to begin with, but whatever. So they're making a couple of the animals walk the plank on here. The plank falls, the animals are hanging on to the side of the ark. He's sitting over there like, bullshit! They were like 4 feet out from the ark. There's no way they could fucking be hanging on to the side of that shit. Mm-mm. You're
sorry.
You're like, bro, am I wrong?
I am. If you are like that much of a distance away from the ledge and you fall, you're not going to be able to like reach out and grab the ledge. I'm just saying. I know it's a cartoon.
You'd be a blast to watch Looney Tunes with.
I know it's just a cartoon.
I know. In a movie like this, you got to say something when you're watching it.
Right.
Where's my phone? So I got my fucking ARC notes on here.
ARC notes.
Yeah. I didn't have here's what I had a problem with in terms of the characters. As far as their introduction goes, I'll chalk that up to it's a sequel.
Now that you mention that it's a sequel, yeah, okay, I'll also give it a pass for that.
The problems I had, and I don't know if you had this, but there are some animals that look so much alike that sometimes I wasn't sure if it was the parent or the kid.
Exactly.
You had that too?
Yeah.
I did all throughout this movie.
And then we were kind of led to wonder what was the actual relationship between the two characters. Were they siblings? And then later on they finally said, oh, he's my best friend. Oh, okay, so they're friends. But are their parents dating? Because they kind of have this like husband and wife dynamic thing.
Maybe the first one explains all of that.
I bet
I'm
it
not,
does.
I'm not sure. I have this. That's a question for the comments.
Yeah.
They'll be like, well, as an expert on Oops, Noah is gone. So there might be several in there.
Right. Yeah.
There is lowbrow humor in this. But I didn't think it was bombarded with it.
No.
It's there.
Yeah.
It is.
No, it wasn't bombarded.
When the one animal comes in and is like, oh, I tried looking for the kids. I looked in the poop deck and oh boy, you don't want to go in there. Like, yeah, there's stuff like that in the movie, but that's not all it is.
Right.
It doesn't bombard you with things like that. It's kind of far for you in between, and it doesn't. There's some cutesy humor in it, but it's not an onslaught of just like slang and things like that. There's very, very little of that. I did like how there was a good emphasis on a lot of sight gags and physical humor in this movie. And maybe that's just me, but like I would get like a kind of a stupid laugh out of the beginning when like the giraffe was about to fall over and the animals are just in this big giant pile, like all moving from one end to the other.
Yeah.
And then someone would get surprised on the ark and the whole ark itself would like leap up off the water. And then the ark is, this is so stupid, but I'm like, all right, this is kind of my stupid sweet spot, I guess, the ark when it was pulling up to the island and you just hear the beep, beep, beep.
Turns out it was a bird doing that.
Was it?
Yeah. Did you not see that?
I might have forgotten it. Little things like that I was kind of appreciating about it. I liked how the only kind of biblical character in this is the dove that they send away to look for land.
Yeah.
And the dove is basically the Scrat of this movie, where every now and then it cuts to what the dove is doing and something terrible happens to him.
Right, yeah.
He'll get struck by lightning, and I kind of liked the visual gag where just off in the distance you see just the tiny smoke of the dove crashing into the... For every one joke that would kind of get a belly laugh out of me or something random would happen, there's a lot that fall flat.
Right.
Quite a bit. For every one, there's about 20 that don't. But the ones that don't just kind of fell flat. I wasn't sitting there groaning or anything. I just thought, like, a lot of the humor in this is kind of lame. But random. But like, it's a weird movie. It's not very funny, but it's weird where the animals are underwater and there's these glow mask Nestrians chasing after them. The fact that the clam on the necklace is alive and is a character talking. And when a character dies and they bring him back to life by grabbing a jellyfish and, whoa, hang on, I got an idea. I know how we're going to get out of here. Let's go out through the butt.
Yeah,
and then
in your butt.
because the Nestrians made a wooden idol, apparently. Because the book of Exodus hasn't happened yet. And they go into the idol's butt and escape out of it like like that. Where's Noah in all of this?
Right. Oh, he's gone. Remember in the first movie?
I don't know. Like, did the animals because everything Noah would be doing, the lion is doing.
Yeah.
Like the lion's
sending out the dove and
yeah. Even the lion even has his own butler.
Right.
I like gags like this because it's like this chimpanzee butler who's like a very good sir like kind of character. I don't know. I like that kind of character. I didn't think this movie was good, really. But I didn't think it was that bad.
Right. No, I'll say now that there's context to it being a sequel, I'll give it a little bit of a pass, but yeah, man, okay, going back to the dove, if we can go back to the dove for a second, what really bothered me about the dove was just how, ridiculously, flamboyant the dove was. Whenever the dove was sent out, he was posing in midair, haha, I will find food, I will find land, and then later he's flying and he's popping and locking, and I'm just God, can you stop?
I didn't notice that. I mean, I guess that goes along with just horrible things keep happening to him after every one of those scenes.
Right, yeah.
I didn't really notice that, maybe because, again, that just didn't stand out to me at all compared to those damn pigeons from the Tom and Jerry movie.
God, well, I kind of feel like they're on par with each other.
Oh, I don't at all.
Just that dove might as well have been rapping.
But he was just kind of posing. The ones from, man, that was a whole opening credit scene of those pigeons in the other movie.
True.
And that was your introduction into that film.
True.
Oh boy, is this setting up where this movie's gonna go. This movie better not be pandering. The dove is he's kind of the Scrat of this, but Scrat's in those movies even more than that dove is in this.
Yeah.
He's just kind of in it a few times.
Yeah.
A handful of seconds at a time. This movie, it kind of, I was constantly fascinated by how bizarre the thing was, in terms of what the characters are doing and all having to escape from this volcano that is going to destroy their new makeshift village of a bar that they've built with pieces of the Ark. And, oh no, the Ark's got a big hole in it now. We got to get it put back together again so we can escape the volcano.
By the way, there's something else I need to point out. How this movie was just first we gotta get off the Ark. Now we gotta get off this island that we just found to get off the Ark with the volcano. And it was just kind of what is your plot, movie? Pick one.
I'll tell you what the plot is, because the way that a couple of the animals in this movie look, it looks like when Noah boarded all of the animals onto this Ark, a couple of humans decided to dress like animals and board the Ark, and thus furries were born. That's if you haven't seen the first one, just pretend that's the backstory of 2x2 Overboard.
Oh my God.
Dude,
there's some biblical headcanon for you.
It's all in the Bible, dude. It's all there in scripture.
Oh shit.
I would give this, I gotta factor low expectations into this because I went into it with really low expectations after that Finding Jesus movie. But the animation was good. I got a couple belly laughs out of it. And it's weird. It is a weird little movie. I kind of do want to see the first one out of curiosity now.
Actually, same, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a snob episode on it or something. Okay. But I'll give it a C. Because most of it just didn't land in terms of the humor. And it is a comedy. Not a lot of it's that funny. But not insultingly so. I'll give it a C.
That's actually what I was thinking about, too. Was just giving it about a C. So, I'll agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Again, probably low expectations factored into that a little bit.
Let's just say this. I probably would have given it like a C- or a D before you told me that this was a sequel and
Yeah.
you know, factor in a few more contextual stuff. But yeah, let's go with C.
And the first one's got a great title. Oops, Noah's gone. Or something like that. It's like, oops, something. All right,
Oops,
well.
all berries?
Oops, all elephants. All right, well, stay tuned because we'll be back with whatever that tween movie is, like 100% Coco or whatever shit that's going to be. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, and Dread. We'll be reviewing those two. So thanks for watching.